And last time on the Curse of Strahd, having found out that the bones of St. Andrew's Church had been stolen, the church was no longer sanctified. You went and hunted down you followed the trail, followed the clues, did your investigation, some a little harsher than others, and made your way to the coffin maker's house, where you discovered that the coffin maker, Heinrich, had been prompted to steal the bones and was being held captive, essentially, by a cadre of vampire spawn. After figuring out the best possible way to deal with them, you went to the coffin maker's house alone, making your way to the attic, where you discovered the spawn resting in the crates of the attic, filled with earth, engraved dirt. They had hidden in those crates, and you engaged them, utilizing the daylight and breaking several of the windows in the house, and managed to destroy all of the vampire spawn in the attic. Having accomplished your task, you went back to the Blue Water Inn, where you had lunch, and were to make your way to the Burgomeister's Manor that evening. But you've got a little time before evening now. So with that, we will pick up, I guess, outside the Blue Water Inn. It is still just a little past afternoon. The sky is that perpetual overcast that seems to permanently hang like a noose over the valley of Barovia. Outside, you see several more ravens, the same 4 or 5 that are constantly hanging around the blue water, looking down at your group as you exit.
As I leave the front door, I'm just gonna give those ravens a sniff.
Okay.
Just
What
look
are
up and...
you?
What, you don't sniff
Oh,
ravens? It's not what you do.
They smell earthy.
Smell like wet bird.
Let me get that out of there. Sorry.
Oh, so if it wasn't clear, I'm using divine sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're using. So divine sense, it's fiend, undead, or celestial, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing.
So, Rango, we've got a few hours before we go to the Burgomeister's here. What's it to get into in a town like this?
Well, my friend, to be perfectly honest, I found this morning's activities rather taxing, and with the prospects of the evening ahead, I was hoping to perhaps recuperate.
I gotta say, I'm kind of with him on this one. After eating lunch, I, got that food coma going on.
Yes, it has nothing to do with fighting vampires.
Shush you.
Ha! Such things are nothing for brave Sir Cole. He is the bane of such creatures.
Of course he is.
And you see him, and he's standing there trying his best to look real proud and straight backed, but just the bags under his eyes betray him.
Yeah, Tins isn't even hiding it. He's slumped over and just kind of like ugh, over it. I will say I would like to go speak with the carnival master at some point in the next few days.
Oh, doesn't he stay here?
Yes, but I don't know that he's always here, so might be who of us to actually go and potentially look at his place that he set up. I don't know. It's just a thought.
I do know he's got something rather powerful up there. It's either
Who?
on him. It's either on him or in his room. But you know, just making sure the area was safe one night we were here. I kind of gave it a little once over with the sort of bit of magic I can do, and it seems he's got something magical up there. Either on him, like I said, because he was in the room at the time, or just hanging out.
Tins gives the smallest of half smiles of appreciation before he just starts making his way to his room. He's not even going to stop.
Tens up above as you begin to move around to your room you're trying to go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You go up. You head towards those stairs that lead to the upper part, that top floor of the Blue Water Inn. Two of those ravens up above. You can see them sort of fighting back and forth, cawing, caw. And then out from one of their mouths drops something small.
Tins will try and figure out what it is. Is it within reach, or did it like fall out of reach?
A little past in the grass in the yard.
He's gonna go see if he can find it.
Make an investigation check.
$14.
So looking around at where the object fell, you began pushing the grass aside, and it's not thick grass, right? It's kind of that crab grass. It's not incredibly difficult to find something that's lost in there. And then the sun, a bit of the sun that comes through the sky glints for a second as you see it, and you reach down and you pick up a marble.
Is it one of my marbles?
It's one of your marbles.
He's gonna pocket it, and instead of going to his room, he's gonna go see if he can find the kids.
Okay, where are you looking for the kids?
He's gonna check the yard first, like the yard of the inn where they were before, where they were washing up, and then he's gonna go check on the interior, the blue water on the first floor. Other than that, he will potentially, if he doesn't find them there, go up to their room that he saw the innkeeper's wife, or the innkeeper. I can't remember her name now. And go knock on that door.
As you go around and you start looking, you don't see the children anywhere. Danica's behind the bar. She sees you sort of head towards the stairs. She says, "Yeah, you all right? You looking for something?"
Your boys around?
They went to town with my sister.
Your
Somewhere
sister?
in the square. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it's just a few hours ago. I'm sure they'll be
How
fine.
long? How long were they expected to be gone?
Oh, usually for another hour or so. Sure they'll be back any moment.
Right.
Make a perception check. Or what's your passive perception?
Passive perception would be sitting at 16.
So you hear in the confusion, like again, almost like a fluttering sound, like bird wings. And a few moments later, the two children actually come running out of the back kitchen. Oh, look at that! They're here right now.
Do they look any different?
No, they're kind of teasing each other, chasing each other around, laughing.
He holds the marble in hand, tries to think through everybody that he gave a marble. And he realizes, he remembers that he gave one to the dream pastry saleswoman. Pockets it, puts it back into his pouch, curses in Elvish. He's gonna go back up to his room, see if those two ravens are still there on the way up.
There are several ravens still perched outside the house.
Mhm.
It's hard to tell one from the other realistically, but there are less than there were.
Let me check his. He's going to go back downstairs. He's going to stop at the door, and he's going to just ask for a little bit of meat that's been dried, preserved, if they have any here. And he's going to start leaving a marble with a piece of meat for a couple of them, as he kind of like, he's going to try and like separate one of them over the course of like the next 30 minutes or so, and just try and feed one some of this dried meat that's been preserved, and kind of give them a gift.
Well, so while you attempt that, what are the rest of you guys doing? You're watching Tens go to walk up the stairs, go to the yard, come, run back inside.
He's going. Watching him, and I thought we're going to bed. I'm just gonna ignore him, push past him, whatever he's doing. I don't know, he's fucking elf.
Yeah, I stopped trying to figure out what he was doing a long time ago. And by a long time ago, I mean like a week ago when we met.
Was wise of you.
So realistically, the only person here that could take a long rest is Cole. The rest of you guys have rested within the last 24 hours or last.
Yeah, but I'm just looking for a short rest.
Mm-hmm. So Cole, what are you doing? Are you gonna take a full
hitting the bed. Okay. Was it 6 hours I need?
Yeah, we'll give you 6 in an in, sure.
All right, get rid of that point of exhaustion.
So before heading in, Durango just quickly cleans himself and Cole up so they look presentable and heroic. And Durango starts to make his way through the inn. Is there a crowd gathered eating? Is it empty? What's going on?
The tavern itself right now is still like a late lunch. There are 1 or 2 patrons. Nobody that looks of any importance, but it's definitely not busy.
Okay, yeah. Durango just makes his way up to his room and squirrels himself away to shine up his lute and rest his fingers up a bit and maybe compose some new songs.
Tensveta, while they do that, go ahead and make a animal handling check for me. $18. The ravens are, you attract, there's several birds. I mean, there's quite a few things, and even some stray dogs now that have started scratching at your door, that are starting to kind of come out and keep trying to snatch the meat away from you. The ravens on the roof don't seem interested.
If that's the case, then I'll just toss that little bit of meat off to the dogs, and then just start handing off little bitty shiny bits that I've got, including marbles, trying to make friends.
And for the rest of the evening, you attempt to get their attention, and most of them end up just, after 30 or 40 minutes of you trying, just fly away.
Okay. If that's the case, once they start dipping, I'm going to go to my room and relax away from everybody.
So 6 hours. The sun sets in the sky this late in the autumn. The dark begins to settle over the town of Vallaki. Now, all of you don't need to stay in your rooms for 6 hours. Obviously, Cole is still asleep.
Are we getting the short rest in?
So again, for the other 3, it's a short rest. Yeah, for you 3,
Okay,
it's
cool.
a short rest. I think I see everybody rolling their hit die.
It might have just been me.
No, I needed it pretty bad. And then I get. Do I get that back?
Did we stop at the store in town? The shop in town?
Oh,
this
I-
town?
You've got,
I don't
you've
think
got
this
some
one.
time, so because it's only going to take you an hour to do your short rest. So if you wanted to go on a little shopping mission, you could before the sun sets. Is there something particular you're looking for?
Yeah, health potions.
Okay. I
And any other things of excitement. I know I need my acid back.
So for the during your search of the town, there are no good alchemists per se. There's no magic weapons. There's no, everything is very much function and not geared toward adventuring. Not the kind of stuff not the stuff you see back home, right? I mean, there aren't a lot of adventurers. Everything is very practical. The majority of the goods are, in your opinion, way overpriced and nothing that's going to particularly help you in your current circumstance. No health potions, nothing.
Well, in that case, then I will, I'll see if there's a jeweler around, and I would also like to buy some garlic.
Okay. The garlic you find easily. At a regular market stall, there's quite a few herbs and vegetables and things being sold. It's a couple copper. How much garlic are you looking for?
Just a clove worth.
Okay, that's a copper piece.
Big
The
spender.
jeweler. Yeah, the jeweler. What are you looking for there?
Just some simple silver jewelry.
Okay. Traveling, going through the market stalls, you go from one to another, and there is a rather boisterous individual who immediately sees you eyeing it and says, "Ah, yes, hello. So, I see a particular piece has caught your eye."
Yeah. What about
This
This
is the
one here.
finest jewelry in all of Vallaki. I'm sure she will love it. What are you looking for?
Oh, just a simple silver pendant.
Silver, classy,
Well,
quaint.
I think it'll do the job.
Is this for? I was presumed. Is this for yourself? Is it for your partner?
Yeah. Partners.
Partners. Oh, look at you. I will, have to ask you your secrets at some time, huh?
See,
I can barely handle one myself, not to lie. She's a handful, and you see he nods this sort of burly-looking woman who's working on a piece of jewelry. As she just kind of like cocks an eye up at you. Oh, yes, the love of my life. There, I could only. How could I ever want another?
well, if I would have been smart, I would have just picked one. But here I am.
Anyway, so a simple silver pendant, a necklace. Any particular design, or do you have a budget, price range?
I don't got that much, so let's start with your cheapest and go from there.
But of course, we've got the very basic silver linked chains. Something of this caliber. 15 silver pieces.
I'll take it.
Okay. Excellent. And more, you said. So these ones have bubbles attached to them. Yes. So this one here is in the shape of a little heart. You can see with a little gemstone in it. It is not super valuable gemstone, but nonetheless, this one here would be 25 silver.
Yeah, we'll do one more just to be.
Okay. I have two of them. I have one that has a red gem and one that has a green gem.
Oh, those are great colors. I'll take both.
Both, okay. 25, 25. So we're up to 65 silver.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. And still more?
How about a ring? Do you got a ring?
A ring, yes, of course. A simple silver band. Yes? He
Yeah.
holds it up. It's just a plain silver. Yes, something like this. 25 silver pieces.
Okay. Here, take a gold for being, and the extra 65 just for being so hospitable.
Well, it is a pleasure to do business with you, sir. How long will you be in Vallaki for?
Oh, don't know right now.
Yes, well, hopefully your partners enjoy your gifts, so generous that you are. And if they do not, of course, you come and see me. We will find the right thing. You bring them next time, and I will have them pick something out. I will not to steer you wrong.
I appreciate it. Thank you, friend.
Of course.
And I'll return back to the inn.
I know Durango was working on songs. Is there anything else you were trying to do during this time?
No, he's just gonna be in his room until it's time.
Till it's showtime, baby.
And what about Tens?
I'm gonna be going and looking for a couple of steel mirrors. I'd like 3. 4. Let's make it 4 steel mirrors. And a couple of small signaling bells. We'll go with 2 of those.
Okay. So I say you find them, all of it together, maybe 35 silver.
I'll take it. Okay. And he's going to start asking about just like the people that he's there with, that he's buying these things off of. He's going to start asking about the Windmill, any interesting people, and the carnival. How long has it been around?
Make a persuasion check.
How about a 19?
So with a 19, I'm just going to run through these one after another. Okay, so the Windmill, nobody seems to have too much information about it. Nobody in Vallaki is familiar with dream pastries. They're not familiar with, many of them are aware of the Windmill, but they've never gone. So you really don't find too much about that. The the carnival's been in town for, or at least Rictavio's been in town for a couple of weeks. Most of the townsfolk aren't aware, although they said that there's something strange. Obviously, no, they don't particularly trust him. They don't particularly trust strangers as well. That you manage to wriggle out whatever information you can regarding that. You've gotten several reports of strange sounds coming from his wagon.
Okay.
And then that he just appeared a couple weeks ago.
Interesting.
And what was the third thing?
Windmill. Any interesting? Anybody else that's interesting in town, and the carnival.
Primarily, everyone is fairly apprehensive when talking about anything related to town that may be in negative connotation, right? There's a very real fear of being considered a naysayer or a ne'er-do-well or a misfit, someone who is not really towing the line with the all is well and the Burgomaster's view of what happiness should be.
Right.
The Izek is someone that they fear, that is the head of his guard, the deformed, when they say the monstrosity there.
Yeah, the giant guy that we saw. Yep.
You hear stories of him having a history of violence, as well as his deformity, which is this weird arm that people say lights on fire or conjures fire. It's and he really is the most you've heard. I mean, everyone is kind of willing to talk about stuff outside of town. You hear a little bit more about another sighting of the Mad Mage of Mount Baratok. Although most people say he hasn't been seen in weeks, but every once in a while someone says, "Oh, I saw him." The other than that, the 19. Okay, so outside of town, there's a Vistani camp.
Of course.
Yeah. A little girl has gone missing.
Any good stories around? Any good books I can pick up from anywhere?
Surprisingly little. In your attempt to find, make an investigation check.
I'm not meaning to dominate. I'm sorry. Looks like a 10. 10 total.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't find many bookstores or anything of that nature. Apparently the Burgomeister has quite the extensive collection and a bit of a library, and realistically, kind of hoards a lot of that.
Okay, so that's a lot of information to gather in. So it sounds like nobody really wants to talk about the windmill, right? Am I wrong in you saying that? Is that what you said?
So most people here in this town don't know much about the windmill.
Okay, cool. Mad Mage hasn't been around in 3 weeks, but that's also a rumor because people keep talking about how, I saw him just the other day. There is the missing girl from the Vistani camp, which is intriguing enough based off of our fortune tellings at the beginning. And then there is weird sounds coming from our friend, the Carnival Master's wagon, which we've also been told to look for a wagon as well. So those two are interesting. Let's see. Yeah, that's a lot of information to go through. So I guess once he gets through with all this, he's going to go back to the blue water and find his, I guess, Ash. Ash is the only one that's really truly available. He doesn't want to interrupt Durango in making his songs, and well, we've already had the discussion about waking people up and making them cranky, so probably not going to touch Cole. Yeah, so he's going to go back and find Ash.
Okay. So as you are making your way back to the Blue Water Inn, you run into Ash outside, who is also just arriving as well. So you pick up your pace and you kind of jog up to him.
Hey, first off, I have a couple things for you, and I'm going to pass off a steel mirror and a bell. Everybody should have a mirror and a bell.
Oh, well, I was thinking of you too, and here you go. And I hand him the heart-shaped pendant. Silver necklace. I don't know if silver will actually work, but I don't really want to deal with any of those things again, especially at night. So if this
Wouldn't it have
works,
been easier to just take the silver that you likely spent on this to a blacksmith to melt down into some silver-tipped arrows?
yeah. I was thinking we could like melt it ourselves, but that actually is like a way better idea than. Yeah. Well, we can.
It's okay. I appreciate the gesture, and now I have a pretty little bauble. And he just puts the necklace on and kind of hides it underneath his shirt.
You see Ash swing his quiver around, and he just starts breaking up the clove of garlic. That was a way better idea than what I'm doing. And putting it in his quiver.
He just kind of blinks a few times. Just so we're clear, the thought on the bell and the mirror are long-range sight communications, and whenever we're not in sight of one another, we can ring the bell in case something is wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be giving one to the other two as well, with the same instructions. I am no longer a fan of this place, and there is worse fuckery here than there was back home. So, a couple things. I've got some interesting rumors that I think you may be one in particular you may be interested in, based off of your interaction in the town of Barovia, city, whatever you want to call it, the dwellings of Barovia. That house, you seemed very interested in helping the children. There appears to be a child that has gone missing from a Vistani camp outside of here, and I don't know if you remember the fortune or not, but we were told that there was a child that was going to be bound one of their own as a sacrifice. And he takes a few moments and he thinks, he goes, it was a holy symbol of great hope. It lies with a child, one of our own, bound in wet, a sacrifice, desperate wantings to some semblance of oblivion.
Uh-huh. Yeah, don't need a kid to go to oblivion. That'd be great.
Another thing, we were told that there would be help in a wagon, a cage of sorts, some sort of weapon. I got rumor from some of the people that there was a bunch of odd sounds coming from my friend, the Carnival Master's wagon. A man that apparently is not what he seems, a wagon, a cage, therein lies what you seek. If I remember the foretelling correctly.
I'm not saying I doubt you, because I'll be honest, I don't remember a whole lot about that fortune.
I'm a fan of stories, and and fortune telling is oddly rampant where I'm from. So,
well, the longer I'm here, the more I'm starting to feel like that's probably a thing I should have paid attention to. So I'm glad you did.
somebody has to.
But doesn't it seem a little, I don't know, coincidental that two of those things would be here at the same time in this big grand scheme of a fortune thing?
I don't think so, no. I don't believe in coincidences.
All right. Well,
Especially whenever I'm as focused as I am in winter. Coincidences don't exist. whenever I'm this focused.
All right, I'll take your word for it. We'll have to humor the other two and go to this mayor's house and or Burgomeister or whatever.
Speaking of which, whose voice were you throwing earlier in the house?
Oh, I was trying my best attempt at Strahd.
It's an interesting talent.
Yeah.
I can't get a voice all the way down, but I can pick up an accent or two. So good on you, I suppose. He gives the weakest attempt of a smile.
Well, guess you could say it's somewhat of a gift. Maybe it's a curse. And he says that last part, like, kind of looks away from you and just offhanded comment about the last bit.
Innate talents are not curses. I never consider them to be. If anyone's cursed here, well, not here, but don't take your innate talent for granted. You could be overly emotional as I am.
Well, I'll keep that in mind, but it's maybe not a talent if everybody else sees it as a curse.
Who would see that as a curse? Even children would find it entertaining.
Yeah. I forget I said anything about it.
I won't. Octavio also seemed to have some semblance of connection to me, or at least he seemed to have similar interests as I do. So I think I will be completely honest. I give no shits about this meeting with the Burgomeister tonight. I don't care. And frankly speaking, I'm only going so that way you guys aren't all there alone. Without someone who could at least potentially disappear when the opportunity arises. I heard he has a rather large library, and it's actually fairly difficult to find stories in Villaki. And I find that discouraging, to say the least, because everyone should be able to pass their stories on to the next person.
Well, I definitely think we have I think there's information to be gained by going to this meeting.
Yes.
And I think your talent for sneaking off might be useful.
Regardless, I don't think that Octavio is going to be much of a threat. Would you like to go speak with him with me while Tweedledee and Tweedledum are upstairs sleeping and playing their music?
Yeah, why not? I would say that we probably shouldn't push the timeline too far.
Probably not, but
yeah, why not? Those two are sleeping away the day, so might as well do something useful.
wasteful.
I just wish I could sleep as well as they could.
I wish I had my dream pastries back, so that way I could rest. Speaking of which, was that you?
Do you think I'd fuck with your pastries?
Honestly, I don't know.
Listen, I'm not a fan of you passing out and not being able to respond to our camp being attacked.
I'm not a fan of that either, if that is any consolation. And he's going to start like wandering off towards the direction of the wagon as he's talking at this point. Just kind of walking and talking.
Well, I'll say this. If you could keep it under control and ensure that it's not a gonna put me or the other two in danger, then have at your pastries, man. But until you can convince us otherwise, I think it's probably best that they disappeared. But no, I wasn't the one that did it.
Thank you for your honesty.
Hey, it's what I do, right?
So who are you looking for?
Little girl. Name's Esmeralda.
Mm.
It's hired to find her.
Well, I hope you find her. If I can be of any other service, I'll be here. Don't worry, I won't take your coin.
Not a whole lot to take, friend.
Then what is there to gain?
Distraction.
From?
A life not well lived.
You're very vague.
I don't like talking about myself.
Poor self-esteem. Noted.
Something like that. Hang on, I'm gonna make a roll for something.
Uh-oh.
Well, what's your passive?
Passive what?
Perception.
Or insight is what you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
Passive
Is that
insight's
what-
19.
Is that what it is? Yeah. What would I have to roll for that?
For you,
Yeah, because I'm trying to hold it together. Like keep control of that ability.
throw.
Deception or yeah. Actually, yeah. That's good. Actually, wisdom saving throw. Sure.
Oh,
Okay.
You're trying to. Are you trying not to spoil? So again, because are you? Is essentially what you have to tell is, are you trying to persuade him of something? Are you trying to lie without me giving away anything?
I'm
or are
trying
you just trying to keep yourself from spilling
hide-
the beans?
I'm trying to hide part of my ability.
Okay, then make a stealth check.
ooh. We're gonna go
That's
against
a
my
clever-
perception or my insight? Insight.
Nat 20 for 26.
Woo!
Well, I need to know: is it gonna are we going against insight or are we going against perception?
What are you trying to do exactly, Jay? Explain to me what you're.
I'm trying to hide part of the physical attribute of that ability.
Then it would be perception.
Do you want me to roll it, or do you want me? Because I can match that at best. All right.
I guess the question you have to ask yourself, Chuck, is: are you actively looking? Jesus Christ!
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Yes, he would be because he's been so fucking flaky this entire time with the way he's talking about his voice and the way he's talking about his past. He's Tens is trying to get a feel for this fucker.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
So then with that, across the top of Ash's hand as he's kind of filling with his quiver still and trying to arrange the garlic or whatever. You think you look kind of crazy, but you just see like it looks like Ash's hand goes from that dark tan weathered look to just a pale white for just a second, and then it goes back to the tan color.
I'm gonna act like I didn't notice it. Taking a stride. Noted.
+6 is 2 natural 20s. It's unreal.
So good. It's so good. I love it when the dice tell the story.
Wow.
So
you were just
you're-
asking the right questions.
So are you guys trying to use the last bit of time you have here to go to the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at least like see if they and Tins just wants to see if he can see what the other people of the town are seeing at the minimum. Like that's about it. if it's going to take too long to actually go in and talk to the guy or investigate it thoroughly.
So I'll tell you, the stockyard where the wagon is, where they is at the very edge of town here. I would say it'll definitely be dark by the time you get there.
Yeesh.
Maybe
Okay.
a little after.
If we think it's gonna be late, if it's gonna be like
Yeah,
that,
it's
I don't
about a
think it's-
mile.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's worth it. If that's the case.
I should say half a mile. Sorry.
We get about halfway there, and Ash goes, this is farther out than I thought, dude.
Yeah, me too. My apologies.
Yeah, there's always tomorrow, right?
Hopefully, we'll see how this party goes.
I guess.
Interestingly enough, as you turn around to as the sun is setting now and it's starting to get dark, halfway through your journey, Octavio actually is there, walking from the other direction. He sees you all and smiles to him, flashes you a smile. And do you let him catch up, or?
Yeah, Tens will.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. Out for a walk. It's not safe at night.
We know.
Um,
How are you this fine evening?
Oh, just wonderful. Just getting ready for another festival. Can't wait. And yourselves, how did your tent work go?
He kind of pulls at his collar a little bit to show where the puncture marks were from the bite that are now scarred over and healed. He just kind of went about as expected, but not nearly as messy as I thought it would be. Messier.
Thank God we were pitching a tent in the daylight.
Yes, quite. And his eyes sort of flash over your wound. Interesting, Mark. You're feeling yourself still, yes?
As much as myself as I am in this season.
It is always best to work in the daylight. Very hard to find your target. Wow. Sorry.
Street dogs.
Yeah. One of the dogs you threw the piece of meat to earlier is just still following you
Just
around,
following
barking
me.
at you, looking for more meat. Yeah.
Occasionally he drops a little giblet.
Yes, always best to be working in the daylight, particularly when you're in this sort of business. Yes. But you now? I'm back to the tavern for me. I could use a bit of a drink.
We're gonna be gathering. He looks at Ash. Troop?
Yeah.
They're both entertainers, and we're not. And yet, we're going to entertain the Burgermeister this evening.
But I would disagree. I saw the performance you all put on in the back at the Blue Water. I thought it was quite entertaining. You can't say you didn't have a bit to do with that, yes?
I had fun. I don't know that I would say I had anything to do with it.
Well, you've got a knack for it.
I'm more
What
like
is- what
hired
is-
security.
Well, every good entertainer needs security, but what is entertaining if not storytelling in some sort of fashion, right?
Very true.
Yes. Well, I don't tell stories. I just take them in.
Stories are... Well, it's interesting. This land is old and has so many stories, yet seems to lack creativity. Soul, if you will.
I agree.
And with that, all of you reach the blue water. During your walk, you're having this conversation. You reach the tavern. It seems to be busier now. The lights are lit on the inside as the sun begins to completely fade and the street turns dark. Somewhere in the distance, howling pierces through the night.
Well, I suppose I should get into a bit more jovial mood.
That'd probably help.
You think relaxed or properly jovial would be more apt?
I would say give your best impression of some sort of foreign diplomat to whatever.
Oh, I'd stick with this then.
Well, maybe just relax then.
Well, whatever you do, I hope both of you have an excellent evening. I am going to go get drunk.
I'll be speaking with you likely tomorrow, assuming that we survive the evening.
I look forward to it.
And with that, he kind of like stands by the door, and Ash, you watch as his skin starts to turn this nice auburn color, like an almost toasty color. That frostbite gives way to kind of a soft orange. We're going into autumn, boys.
There it is. First time?
Second.
I think you started at autumn, didn't you?
Started in spring. We were in autumn on the way to Valaki.
So, with that, Cole, you awaken an odd sensation to, some of that fogginess and drowsiness is still there, but your exhaustion is gone. Odd to awake. Not the first time it's ever happened to you, for sure, that you awaken to the sun being gone.
I think right before Barovia was the last time, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Beside you, you've got, or in the room next door, you can hear Durango subtly playing the lute.
Well, I know that lute anywhere, so I go down and try to find Rango. And find a drink too. Got a pre-game.
Yeah, Durango emerges from his room with an empty stew bowl and a mostly empty glass of wine. He's immaculately groomed, even by his standards. There's not a strand of hair out of place, a single fiber of his clothing soiled or erroneous. It's all just locked right down. He struts down the staircase. His boots are all shined up, and he's taking loud, dramatic steps, smiling at everybody as he walks. He's clearly on tonight. He goes to the bar and sets down his bowl before going to his companions as his arms spread wide. Ah, yes. Do you smell it, friends? On the air? The good fortune?
Oh, there he
Smells.
is. Look at him. Look at how immaculate he is.
What kind of hair gel do you use? It's solid. There's nothing moving.
Well, you see, Mr. Ash, some must strive for such things, and for others it comes quite naturally. And he produces a single flower from his sleeve and hands it to him as he says that.
Ash takes it.
It disappears.
I knew I fucking hated you. I knew it.
How could you hate this handsome gentleman? I'm sorry, Tens. This is the second time I cut you off.
It's okay.
What
He's
you got to say?
relaxed now.
We're chill. We're fine.
See, I like this Tens too. Look at you got a bit of colour to your skin, like a bit of vacation. Look at him.
I'm actually kind of hungry.
I should probably eat
imagine-
before we get there a bit.
Yes, yes, it is. I highly recommend you eat before you go to one of these affairs. To eat as much as you would like would be considered quite rude in the circumstance. So yes,
Oh, so relax is probably a very bad idea. I eat a lot whenever I'm in this season.
perhaps Mr. Tens, tonight you could try and wear a regal air, something refined.
He looks at Ash. He's just like, I don't know what that means.
I get it, regal, kingly.
So back to the depresso. Got it.
No, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. Just Rango, could you just like clean him up around the cafe? He's got a bit of dirt built up over there. Kind of gross.
Rango, clicks
Don't
his
have to
tongue
be
disapprovingly
mean.
as he snaps his fingers a couple times at various parts of Tensveta and Ash, cleaning them both up.
Thank you. Huh.
Hey, much more presentable.
I was kind of hoping to take a bath, but this is much more efficient.
Yes,
So,
yes,
a
the,
bath.
the bath takes so much time that could be spent either playing for the people or going to find more people to play for, yes?
But a warm bath sounds so nice.
If such a
If we
thing
play our-
exists here.
If we play our cards correctly tonight, Mr. Tens, perhaps there will be more warm baths in the future, less sleeping in the dirt.
I'm probably not going to be listening, just so you guys are aware. I'm probably going to be working.
You do you, I'm
Working.
going to be making coin, mate.
I think we all will.
And yourself, Mr. Ash, how are you feeling about this evening's prospects?
Oh, I'm just as chipper about it as I always am.
Which is nothing, so never.
I'll be
This,
alright. I
This
won't
talent
be
of
rude.
yours, we discovered there earlier today. Perhaps I could call on you to assist me with some of the entertainment this evening?
For me?
Ah,
I meant Mr. Ash and
okay.
his impressions, the most impressive.
Right.
depends on who you need to impression of.
Impersonate, I believe, is the correct word.
Listen,
Durango just laughs and claps him on the shoulder. My friend, you will know when the time comes, yes.
Tell me.
all right. You give me the signal, and if I think I can do it, I'll be out.
Oh. And he digs out the two bells and the two still mirrors, and he passes them off to the other two. He says, Ash, tell them what they're for.
What are they? Oh, to communicate with
Each other. That's
other.
what it is.
right.
The mirrors are for long distance stuff, and bells are, well, I guess it's going to be useless tonight, isn't it?
Durango's already tied the bell into his ponytail at this point, and he's checking it out with the mirror.
Okay. Ring it hard whenever you need help.
Such gifts, Mr. Tens, you are far too kind.
Oh, wait, I got presents too. And I hand him, I hand out a silver necklace and the silver ring. After our little dirt friends, I don't know if this will actually help, but here.
He just proposed to one of you.
Why are you giving us jewelry, mate?
It's silver.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. And I'm going to grab the ring. Mostly because I've never seen Rango wear a ring. I'd imagine I get in the way of playing the lute, so...
Might get in the way of his extra finger.
Durango takes the silver pendant and like arranges it hanging from the headstock of his lute and eyes it admiringly. You have a fine eye for such things, Mr. Ash.
See, I told him earlier that instead of using the silver to buy this stuff, we could just melted it down for like swords and arrows or something.
Yeah.
But this is nice. This is nice. And he pulls his out, and it's that little heart pendant. He just kind of looks at it. See?
What do you do if you get the opportunity? It's trying to bite you? Pull off the ring, shove it down his throat.
Well, that just sounds awful. And how do you know that they're going to swallow it?
Well, he forced them in, eh?
That sounds really hard based
I-
off of what we saw today.
You ever try to force feed a dog something you don't want to eat? You throw it in his mouth and you just kind of...
No, I haven't.
Yeah, here, you got to convince him to swallow it, so you just sort of rub the necks and...
Yeah, see, I've never. This is actually the first time I've seen a proper dog. The dogs that I've seen like to teleport.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
the
you
ones
never
who've
seen
been
a
following
dog?
us all day.
No, yeah, no, the ones that I'm used to, like they're there one moment, the next, just like I do.
Well, I mean...
Fuckery.
Regardless. Fuckery. I get it now. I understand it. This place has taught me the definition of a new word.
I am glad that it has done so, because it's done nothing for me so far. It's had to bring me great misery and delicious food. I need another round of food, please.
Oh yeah, coming right up. And she brings you. It's just these bowls of like this fairly hearty beef stew.
Can I have yours? And he starts like pulling the bowls towards him as he just like starts to hoard it.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Thank you. He just starts slurping it loudly.
I don't remember this part. Well, whenever you two are ready, you are the showman.
Yep.
Lead the way.
I don't know what the fuck I am.
Brave Sir Cole, do you feel prepared for the task at hand?
Well, Rango, you know when duty calls. I'm ready for it.
Yes, yes. Come, gentlemen, off with us.
Question before we go. Are we considered part of your troop
I
at
have
this rate?
explanation in place should anybody lend a prying glance our way. I believe that it will suffice.
All right, you say so.
Whatever. I trust you, I guess. Even though you don't trust anybody else. Except for Cole.
Mr. Tens, you wound me so with your words, and he clutches at his chest dramatically.
Oh, Tensvita, just a quick thing. Cole lowers his voice a bit. Some of your dexterity might find a crowd like this sort of entertaining. Tend to be showing off, wearing valuables.
That's illegal.
Mate, you don't even know where you are.
True. Okay. Maybe. I mean, okay. I don't plan on staying at this entertaining night, and for all I know, it's just going to be you and the way he was speaking, it sounds like it may just be the two of you standing in a room with his wife. He may not even fucking be there. So if that's the case, I may try and sneak off and find out about our fiery armed friend and maybe find a story or two.
All right, mate. I'm just
I'm
saying.
just saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
Typically, the
saying.
gold's pretty good.
Maybe. You act like I've ever cared about gold.
I was just letting you know about the situation, mate. You do with that information what you will. Ignore it, take it.
I appreciate the suggestion. It has been noted.
I never like his hands either. Oh.
He picks up the last bowl and proceeds to just.
Slight interjection for the DM just because I noticed it. My passive perception is now 20.
Ooh.
What?
I took the
Nice.
observant feat.
Observant.
Oh,
Hell
Jesus, yeah.
But I haven't thought about passive perception in a while, and so I was just looking at my stats. And
Lip reading.
So with that, you all make your way out of the tavern. Heading through the dark streets of Alaki, the town takes on a very different atmosphere, as does Barovia at night. In the distance, wolves howl in the forest. Birds seem to flutter still in the air, or bats, night creatures moving about, flittering in the darkness just beyond view. The shadows stretch, almost choking at every source of light they can find as you make your way through the damp, dark streets of Vallaki. After several minutes, you arrive at the location that you were given for the Meisters mansion. If I can find my thing, there we go. As you approach, the mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Despite the size of it in relativity to the other abodes and shops and things like that in Vallaki, it looks old and slightly decrepit. Drapes seem to cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. As you approach, a couple well-dressed make their exit as you are entering, and they wave goodbye, and the servant sees you as you're in mid shutting the door. He sees you and stops. Hello. Are you guests of the Burgermeister?
Yes, my friend, you have it exactly right. I am the great Durango Fortescue. These are my companions. We are here to see the Burgomeister tonight.
Well, excellent. Durango Fortescue, please enter.
The great Durango Fortescue. Thank you.
Yes, of course. I believe I was told you would be arriving this evening. Please, and this way, sir. And he beckons you in. Sorry, between my dog losing his mind here. Just give me 1 sec.
God, they got street dogs in here too. Jesus.
I told you to go away.
For everyone
Sit
else,
away.
we got a new puppy. She is just 2 months old, and she is still very crying. And every time she cries, he starts to lose it. So he's hanging out with us tonight. But she is,
That's sweet, though.
yes. Where are you?
And I'm
Right
so
here.
sorry. Sorry, could not resist.
All right. So, as you enter, the manservant, sort of guides you in. Framed portraits adorn the walls of the grand foyer, which features a wide staircase with this sculpted railing that seems to wind up with it. A long carpeted hall attached to the foyer stretches almost the entire length of the manor. You can see it go down all the way to the back end of the building, with several doors leading away from it, including one at the far end. The interesting thing, bundles of twigs seem to have been placed and stacked and just are being kept here, heaped against the walls. The servant turns to you and says, please don't mind the mess. We are, of course, preparing for the festival of the Blazing Sun.
We're gonna be burning the place down. Is this gonna be? There's a lot of twigs in here.
Of course not. This is for the creation of the grand sun that is to be made and set ablaze in celebration of course, our victory over the Devil Strahd.
This would be a very large sun if you lit this place on fire, I imagine.
He's so. Oh, I apologise. He's a bit of a chatterbox sometimes. Brave Code Mavvin, at your service. This stately manner is a bit overwhelming. What direction are we going in?
Please, right this way to the den. The Lord and Lady will be with you in just a few moments.
Hmm.
And he guides you into the first door on the right as you head down that hallway. You can hear laughter and the clanking of dishes and things off to one of the side rooms. As you enter this large sitting area, if you will, padded chairs and couches line all the walls. Carpets are laid down on the floor, stretched from end to end. The room reeks of pipe smoke. And it's startled at first. You see mounted on the eastern wall the head of this large, angry-looking brown bear. Yes, if you will, of course, get yourselves ready, and I will. The Baron will be with you in just a few moments. Is there anything I can get anyone?
A book.
Any particular book, or
Do you have anything that's like Barovian folktales or anything like that? I like stories.
we don't have too many folk tales. The Vistani is probably who you would like to speak to, but I don't believe they write them down.
Yes, I'm aware.
I
of
will
the
see what I can
Vistani
do.
and
Perhaps
those,
I have something for children. Would this be acceptable?
It'll work.
And for the rest of you, beverages, perhaps.
Yeah, take a glass of wine for myself. Some refreshment would be quite welcome, thank you.
I would have the same, thank you very much.
Some Terry's if you got it. Otherwise, yeah, whatever they're having.
Ooh, Terry sounds good.
Of course, we will have it all brought to you.
And do you have? No, never mind. Sorry, I was told not to do that.
And a few moments pass, and another servant brings in and delivers the wine and the terries in these elegant-looking glasses.
Thank you.
Yep.
And what's your name?
Frantic window
I
opening.
promise there's a point. I'm
I
sorry.
have it though. That's the worst part is I have it here, and I knew you were going to ask it, and I'm trying. It's just Hold on 1 second. What were the names?
Tins is gonna sit down on one of the couches that are nearby and begin to lounge with that cup of Terry's, with that glass of Terry's, and just, oh, this is the life.
Not bad, innit?
To Cole, Ash is gonna leave over. When I said he should be relaxed, I didn't know this is what he meant by relax. I thought he was just gonna be like chilled out for a second, you know?
Well, at least this is entertaining. I don't know if I like much of him, you know. I like him when he's
I like
grumpy.
to think I'm entertaining all the time.
No. So when you get a bit green, just a little bit irritating.
I know it myself, so fair.
That's impressive.
It is. I actually really. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. And Kel's gonna start sort of stretching out and finding a nice sort of setting for the both of them. And if there's any chairs around, sort of rearranging them. So Durango, you know, he's got a set stage in mind. He's done this quite a few times. Maybe not in this sort of setting a lot, but chairs up and sort of get a stage set up, prepared, and a seating area prepared for them, Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, while Cole's getting that ready, Durango's like pacing out an area in the stage area, like getting a measurement of like how much room he has to work with, and like eyeing up lines of sight where all the lighting is. Getting a lay of the land. He's getting prepared.
So you guys set up and prepare for this this grand performance. A few minutes pass, and the doors open, and several individuals come in. Men, women dressed in finery, all begin to crowd in and look at you all with plastic smiles. Another moment passes, and a woman enters, finely dressed, finer than the others, elegant jewelry adorning her fingers and neck. And then a moment later, you see the Baron enter. That same demeanor as his wife, overly gaudy jewelry and finery. The two large mastiffs still at his side, following him into the room, settle down as he immediately commands the attention of the entire procession. Well, everyone, it is my great pleasure to announce that I have provided entertainment for this evening. I stumbled upon this lad in the streets earlier, playing music for the crowds outside. Delightful to see the fine folk of Vallaki smiling in happiness, uttering the words, "All is well." As I have told you, this is how we will defeat the devil and break this curse on our land. What a better showing than to have such fine entertainment under my own roof. And it is my pleasure to announce Mr. Durango Fortescue. And everyone sort of turns and claps softly. Oh my, yes, right.
At this point, Pole's actually going to step in front. And it's just sort of a standard thing he does at the beginning of all the shows before he turns it over, and starts going, "Ladies and gentlemen, the in-between and the non-conforming, allow me the great honor of an introduction. I am the great, brave Sir Mavvin, and this tiefling, as wonderfully introduced by the Burgermeister here, is none other than the great Durango Fortescue. We have arranged a collection of entertainment that will guarantee you an unforgettable night. Shall we begin?" And gives a great deep bow and does the sort of, while still bowed, walk backwards past the chair that Durango is sitting in. And will kind of take a position back there, sort of minimally present.
Yeah, a double kind introduction tonight, my friends. Thank you so very much. As has been said, I am the great Durango Fortescue. I come to you tonight, not only with my own talents, but I am joined by the Sir Mavvin, the brave Sir Mavvin, a liberator of the people, a brave servant of his god. As well, we have Mr. Ash, and Durango gestures towards Ash, a stalwart companion and protector, as well as a man of concealed talents of his own. And last but certainly not least, we have Tensveta Neyota, the crown prince of the land of Fakuri. He is a collector of tales, and perhaps if he is so inclined tonight, he might share one with you fine people, no?
And you can see everybody sort of bowing slightly and giving that very, very classy golf clap as they murmur amongst themselves. Well, Mr. Fortescue, I didn't know you traveled with such refined guests. And he looks down at you tens, and they're all like judging your attire. And I must hear more of this Fakuri you come from, but please, let us wait no longer. What is this grand performance?
Oh, going to start like it always does, and Durango is going to launch into his own particular brand of musical styling. That kind of tense, dramatic instrumental with the guttural throat singing behind it, coupled with that keening, wailing, kind of higher pitch tone on top of it. He's once again pulling out all the stops. The lights are pulsing along with the bass notes of his instrument. His eyes are glowing with flame and flickering with the same pulse. The earth trembles a little bit as he stomps his foot. And it's a good lead-in for the rest of the performance.
Yeah, so this intense show. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Say 21.
Nice.
21. Yeah, so the crowd is just immediately immersed as the setting is set and the lights begin to go, and they're and you can see several of them shocked and gasp at the when things begin to shake and the fire in your eyes, and it's from the get-go they are immediately enraptured in your song.
As it dies down, Durango just waits until an appropriate amount of time so he has everybody's attention. For our next performance, Brave Circle shall join me in the reenactment of one of our previous adventures, the saving of a small town.
And at this point, Cole comes up and he has a sort of a one-armed cape that he's fashioned out of a blanket that he carries with him, and he gets in front, and from underneath it, he pulls out a candelabra that he took from one of the tables, and he starts in a fencing position, and he waits for Durango to hit the first note, and he starts reenacting the scene where he starts by finding taking this child from this den of goblins, and the child itself hadn't any way of knowing where it was from. Had been taken for quite some time, so it goes and recounts the story of not only Cole and Durango Fortescue hunting down where this child's from, but learning that she was actually the child of bandits and the moral quandary that came with that. And it culminated in this great battle with the child's former parents, and the child finding happiness at a farm outside of Casata.
Make another performance check.
Would this be advantage because of the accompaniment of Durango? He never performs alone. This is always with.
Sure.
I tried to roll, but I think it's paused. So what's going on here?
Oh yeah, didn't roll. Oh, there! Wow, there they all are.
Nice slide. Okay.
Okay, so with advantage, that was a 9.
You could see that the crowd starts to talk amongst themselves now. The intense performance, the initial shock of Durango's musical piece. Now you lose their attention a bit as they begin to just talk amongst themselves. And much like any entertainment at a party or fine dinner, very quickly they move past you and just continue to talk about it. The Baron is, the wife laughs on every word that the Baron says as he tells bad joke after bad joke to the crowd, and you're sort of just a side number at this point.
Seeing that they're kind of losing them, Durango gives Cole kind of a sharp look with his eyes, like he's saying, get out of here, man, we're losing them.
Yeah. I'll thank you for your time. Back to the great Durango Fortescue, and again he kind of bows out and goes behind, takes a position behind.
Thank you, my friend, for that assistance. The brave Sir Cole Mavvin, everybody.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. Maybe
the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the exhaustion, the still setting in. You wasn't wasn't your best performance, and or they just weren't into the story. It's difficult to tell. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Ash. Go ahead.
I was whistling and yay for Cole.
It would appear there are some restless feet in the room tonight. Well, I have the cure for that. Let me show you now. And Durango launches into another song, this one more upbeat, more traditional style. It's actually one that the group has heard him play before. It like really emphasizes a lot of like ventriloquism. Like there's a lot of different parts. Like it's meant to be sung by multiple people, but Durango kind of pulls it off with himself, like by himself usually. But as he gets to the first round of that chorus with all the different voices, he's looking really sharply at Ash, like trying to get his attention. Like, you know, hey, this is you. Be ready for the next one, right?
Ash will proceed to the front and start dancing along with the song and chime in when appropriate in a perfect replication of the way that Durango has done it previously.
So you're emulating one of Durango's voices?
Yep, whatever voice that he's leaving out is the one that I'm going to pick up from when I've heard this song previously.
And with every repetition of the chorus, he leaves out a different part for him to cover. So
And
it really
Ash
gets to like show off his skill set.
and Ash will perfectly mimic Durango because he's heard him before.
Right. Make a performance check.
This is where this is going to fail for you.
With
Sorry.
advantage, because you've got Durango helping you.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, 22.
Right, so this time, as the music catches again, the crowd is still not particularly paying attention to the sounds of the music itself. They're still kind of lost in their own personal conversations. But
Can I do something about that?
well, you don't have to, because as the chorus kicks in and the two start to go back and forth in this melodic harmony that seems to exist, almost two different voices and two different tones hitting different pitches and notes. It's Durango's voice being mimicked through Ash in this very magical way that seems almost supernatural and adds this almost ghost-like quality to the music itself. The crowd starts to pay attention again. You hear the slight applause again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ash, please, be kind.
Still in a perfect replication of Durango's voice. Thank you. Ash bows and steps off to the side.
A very rare treat to hear Durango. A double rare treat to hear two Durangos. Yes. Mr. Tenzota, perhaps now you could favor us with one of the tales you have acquired in your wanderings from the land of Fakuri?
Yeah, he kind of like sits up from his position as he's just been kind of like lounging lazily, enjoying the ambiance with his terry sloshing slightly as he downs it. He kind of sits up and he sends Durango a quick mental message of, follow me with your magic. It'll be good. And then he's going to, as he stands up, he's going to face step to where the Burgomeister is and like wrap an arm around his shoulder and his wife's shoulder. And because he's in autumn, they need to roll, everybody within 10 feet of him need to roll a wisdom saving throw, DC 11, or be charmed by me for the next minute. And he just says,
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's such Fakuri, no?
I'm going to roll this one.
Oh, man.
10 feet.
And for everybody else, so one.
Okay.
Wow. So
as he appears, he just goes, Of course. I'll tell a wonderful story about the Lake of Dreams.
So the majority of the crowd is the Baron. You can see is a little uncomfortable at first, and by the your proximity, and is a little taken aback. The two giant mastiffs are, but the you can tell that the sudden attention that everyone is immediately giving, that he draws the rest of the room in, as the rest of the room is charmed and drawn to you and the scene. You can tell by everybody's reactions. He sort of settles down and puts on a smile, seeing that everybody else is so enraptured in it, and begins to play the part and just, oh, please, do go on. I'd love to hear about Fakuri.
As he appears, there's like soft, almost ethereal fall leaves that appear around him, and the soft scent of cinnamon kind of wafts over the area, and he just says, "Allow me to regale you then." And he kind of backs up towards the stage. As he does, he begins to speak. He just says, "Behold a lake of dreams in a forest far, far away from here. Imagine, if you will, nothing but darkness for miles on end. Every once in a while, you see the occasional woodland being trotting along beside you as you make your way towards this fabled land. And as you do, you find eventually the trees break into a nice, beautiful, still water, almost glass in its appearance. And as you look into the water, into this glass, you see nothing but every one of your Fakuri dreams coming true in that very moment. Every bit of food, every bit of bauble, treat, placed in your hand as if by magic. The soft breezes that fill the air are just comfortable. Nothing but pleasant dreams for years on end under the guise of this beautiful, beautiful Razkareth, the one who rules over this fiefdom. Perhaps one day you'll join me. Maybe, if you're lucky, to do enough Fakuri in your life, you'll find that there is indeed Fakuri to be found at the Lake of Dreams.
You can see in gasps and several of them are, I can see it, and they're looking in their wine glasses. It's in mine too, and it's they're all just the entire crowd enraptured and hanging on your every word, as you present this tale of the Lake of Dreams and the kingdom of Fakuri. The Baron claps and, yes, a kingdom quite after my own liking, I would have to say.
You're getting closer and closer with every festival, I think.
And with that, he just beams.
And then he leans over to his servant. Can I get another glass of Terry's and maybe a few treats, a little package?
Well, I must say, absolutely splendid. And thank you all for coming. I think it is this point now. I will have some conversation with our guests. And thank you for your time. We look forward to having all of you present at the Festival of the Blazing Sun 2 days from now.
Bull's forehead
And you can
basically touches
see-
the ground, yeah.
Yeah. The guests begin to filter out one after another, many of them still hanging on you and staring at you, Tensveta, as they reluctantly leave. The lady escorts them all out. The Baron sits behind and he grabs a seat, this big plush chair right underneath the bear's head, where he sits down and lights a pipe and says, well, absolutely marvelous. Splendid job, all of you. I will, of course, expect to see all of you at the festival, yes?
Wouldn't think of being anywhere else.
When is it again? I've been a little busy today.
2 days from now, yes.
I like it. I'll be there.
Of course. I am excited to have you. It is the only way we can combat the disease that festers this land is with constant revelry, festival, celebration.
I knew it was.
Go ahead.
I knew it was no mere chance we found ourselves in this land. The people, so-called, they need us.
Of course the people need us. As you might have noticed a bit, I'm not primarily a performer. I find myself on the end of protecting the great Durango Fortescue, and I have a little fun in the performance. However, I would like you to take my fighting ability quite seriously. I could, come in real handy in a pinch if you need it.
Well, it is serendipitous that you mentioned this because it is not been lost on us. And you see is that from the same doorway now enters that much larger figure, that captain of the guard, that cloak still covering the right side of his body, hiding whatever is the strange arm is underneath there, comes in with this sort of scowl. And my servant here informs me that you all, well, being a troop of strangers and obviously gifted and talented.
That sounds like something I would take a class in.
Yes. But of course, it is not lost on us that you are well armed for traveling bards and entertainers. So I was wondering if you could help us with a bit of a quandary, something folk of your caliber could perhaps handle, whereas my own servants has been inept.
It would appear it is indeed no mere chance that we have arrived here on this evening in your time of need. Yeah. The brave Sir Cole and myself and my other companions, we are quite well versed in the handling of affairs. You could say that our services are in high demand.
He
It
means
is part of why
violence.
we travel the lands. Of course, it feels almost vulgar to speak of, but these services, I must mention, they do not come cheaply.
Yes, of course, you will be very well compensated for your troubles, believe me. And I plan to do quite a bit of business here. I mean, we are a town built around celebration, of course. Now, the more we can affect the people, and the better we can get them to embrace this way of thinking, this happiness, the less contempt, the less malcontents will roam the streets, and the sooner we can be rid of the devil himself. But on to the matter at hand. Of course, you will be compensated.
I have a question there. JD, does he actually believe that it will, like, okay, so I already asked that question. Is that his true, are those his true feelings about Strahd based off of his expressions?
Make an insight check.
23.
As far as you can tell, there is a conviction in his voice when he speaks, and which, being you get the very real sense that this is not a man who uses a lot of subterfuge because he doesn't need to. He considers himself above and significantly more significant than everyone around him. So there's no need why lie. And he very much believes in a almost maddening way that what he's doing is the right way to do things. Although you can see that there is a very fragile ego there
Yep. Okay.
So, the task I could use your assistance with, of course, is of a less than couth nature, if you will, but one that is necessary. I have found that most recently, 2 of my household have gone missing.
This is a most troubling thing, Burgomeister. Please tell us more.
Well, Isaac here has come up dry as far as where they could have gone, but it is my dearest wife's lady in waiting, and one of the maids have up and vanished. Now it is my belief that it's the malcontents, those vile walkers, to blame.
What was
Lady
that? The
Fiona
what was?
walked her. Lady Fiona walked her. She's a known ally of the devil himself and spreads dissonance and discord amongst the population. Now, I have yet to, and he looks at Isaac harshly, secure evidence of this, but I am quite certain she's up to, well, no good. And I believe her to be responsible for the missing members of my household.
So this Fiona walked her. She has she been seen around here lately or anything like that?
Oh, she's always strutting about town, her layabout sons, but she is a noble, if you would call her that. It is not the type of thing I would like to parade through the streets. Some of the more common folk, we will take in and adjust, but I'd rather keep this above, well, at least my hands clean of this, unless you can find me some solid evidence that she is working with Strahd himself.
What were your members' names?
It was Matilda, the lady in waitings, and Isaac, what was that other girl's name? I believe her name was Gretchen. Gretchen, quite.
And what did she do?
I should just a maid about.
Why not just hire another?
Well, of course we will, but I can't be certain that these 2 missing wasn't a ruse to get me to hire someone else, and perhaps this could be a plant, some sort of seed.
Right.
So do you want us to are you looking just for evidence? Or are you looking for,
Well, I would never suggest that. I mean, let it. I would let law handle what if something were to happen, it would be quite unfortunate. But the law is perfectly capable of handling it. He looks over to Isaac again. But I would like a solid case. It will look, of course, better to the townsfolk if we can present something to show that she's in league with Strahd.
Oh, we can do it. We've got a few people here that people finding evidence finding is a specialty.
Perhaps after word spreads from tonight of our performance, we could attempt to book a show in the house of this lady? No?
Might
And
be.
you,
Of course, my friend, Mr. Burgomeister, this would require you to be rather vocal in your support of our troop to pull this ruse off.
well, yes, I think of course. I will have it announced tomorrow that you'll be playing the Festival of the Blazing Sun, and you'll be performing at my behest.
Yes, this is most wonderful, my friend. Thank you very much. Now, once again, not to sound vulgar, but
Oh, no, yes, yes, yes.
perhaps to give you a scale of the services you seek to hire, I could play you a song to better acquaint you with our talents. Um, so bear with me here, DM. I want to cast distort value on our prowess, on our ability to pull this off. Like
So,
make this
what
guy
are
think that
the
we're worth the money.
components of that spell?
The components?
Yeah, like is it like verbal, somatic?
Let's have a look here. I'll put it into.
Because most like casting a spell.
It's just verbal.
Yeah, it's verbal.
It's literally just verbal.
It's just verbal.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
That's such a good spell. It's like ooh, I love just verbal spells. It's so good.
Perfect. So,
Alrighty.
what is there a save? Go ahead and cast it.
Yeah, there is a save.
Mhm.
No, there is not. It's literally just an investigation check.
Oh,
against
that's
the
what it is,
spell save
investigation.
DC,
Yeah.
which is
So-
wild.
So yeah, Durango launches into a narrative song about some of his and Sir Cole's exploits, and he throws in splashes of Tensveta and Ash as well that he just kind of like improvises on the spot, but still manages to work into the tale. Everybody comes out sounding pretty heroic, and like they're used to getting paid.
I don't care about it.
I'm looking this spell up right now.
It's a great spell.
Well, I think I have a figure in mind, but what I would say in this regard is that there's, it is priceless. What this your particular talents. Clearly, we have been fortunate enough and blessed by your arrival here in Vallaki.
And
But for this evening, I see there are 5 of you. Give me a moment. And he goes to a coffer that is on the side of the one of the end tables, and he opens it up and he begins to count out. Closes the lid, and it's fairly finely wood and decorated, and he hands it over to you. Yeah, I think this should cover it for the evening, at least. Of course, we can discuss further payment on delivery of goods. And of course, your name here will be sung at the rooftops. You'll be at every festival. I'm sure this will be quite a lucrative arrangement, Master Fortescue.
as the chest is produced, Durango, his eyes, like he's maintaining eye contact, making a conscious effort not to look in the box at the money, and he doesn't count it. He just makes a show of taking it graciously and accepting it. The Burgomeister's generosity is it is apparently worthy of song itself, no?
I like the sound of that. Let's make it happen.
Yes. I am feeling inspired right now. The Lord of the Festivals. I shall begin penning it tonight.
Do you have any stories that I could weave about you? Would you like me to weave you into a land of Fakuri song? story.
Stories about me. I am. Stories. So many. Are you familiar with the Velokovic name and where we come from?
No idea, but I'd love to hear about it.
See, centuries ago, we were the original rulers of the Valley of Barovia. Kings here, before Strahd and his family, the von Zaroviches, stepped foot into our valley. This peaceful land, once beautiful, flowing with wine and gold, sullied by the von Zarovich curse. But, one of my favorites is behind me. And he points to the large bear. This bear here was found it prudent to begin assaulting travelers on the road. He was attacking caravans. It was my father, actually, who went out, stalked it for weeks. It killed all of his guardsmen. It was only him and the bear left. In a brutal fight to the death, he slayed the bear with nothing but a dagger and his own wits. Had it mounted.
Now that is impressive. Is
I
it
like
size
that
that
story.
bear?
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. What was that name? I'm sorry.
My father's name.
Yes.
It was also Vargas Velokovic. I am the second.
Well, with that, Burgermeister, we appreciate your time and your patronage of the arts, and we will report back as soon as we have anything.
Excellent news. I feel this will be a most fortuitous friendship.
I believe you're correct about that. You are a wise man, Burgermeister.
And
Well, proper
your
breeding
hospitality.
and education, of course.
It's apparent. And with a kind of a flourishing bow, Cole, I guess, starts heading for the entry.
Yeah.
That same servant walks all of you to the exit as you step out into that main foyer and then back into the street. Again, the darkness, the sudden lavishness of the mansion and the interior vanishes when you step outside into the cold and the dark night of Vallaki. The stark contrast to the perception versus reality. As you take those first steps into the damp street and try to piece together the task at hand, that's where we'll take our first break. So thank you everybody for sticking in there. Please make sure you're spending your elf eggs wisely, or I honestly don't care how you spend them. Either get your dice or get the game tonight. I'm a big fan of the Sid Meier's Pirates game. That was a great grab. So anybody looking to pick that up, 300 elf eggs, super cheap. And we'll be back in 10. And welcome back. So as you all set foot back out into the dark, dank streets of Vallaki, that's where we'll pick up.
As soon
Good
as
job.
as soon as like they're out of eyesight of like both the Baron and the help, Cole's gonna start like kind of like skipping through the streets, jumping around. Like, what did you say that? You say that? Oh, the money! I can smell it.
And Durango's prancing along with him, clapped him on the shoulder, laughing.
I just wish that I had gotten some more of their hors d'oeuvres.
You ain't gotta worry about hors d'oeuvres no more.
Why not?
We'll be able to afford our own damn hors d'oeuvres. Ryger, what's in the box?
Well, I do not like to count these things in the street, Sir Cole. You know that can attract unwanted attention, but, well, I am rather excited myself, no? And he produces the chest and flips it open to take a look.
You start counting, you count it out. There is 500 gold.
Yeah, with every 100, his eyes just like light up a little more and a little more until they're just like two radiant points of like goldenrod yellow in the night. This is this is a princely sum. Prince of Fakuri, no? Is this what you are used to?
Kinda. It's complicated.
And Mr. Ash, are you used to seeing such things?
No, not usually that much. Are we dividing that out evenly, or you guys gonna just hold it in that box?
Well, division is such a... Well, there is much to consider, Mr. Ash. Perhaps we should find our way back to the inn, have a celebratory drink, and discuss these matters, no?
Only 125 each.
Yeah,
One
probably
could
the best on
consider
the streets.
this, that way, but there are many factors to consider, Mr. Tens. For instance, this was a show of my organizing. No, I was the one who put this together.
You're one of those, and he just keeps moving. He just walks past him.
In a perfect Durango voice again, Ash says, "Yes, of course, you are the organizer," and just kind of keeps walking.
If he's offended, it's pretty tough to notice. He's too excited about the money. Although he is, like, once again a little surprised to hear his own voice talking back to him. You know, he makes note of that, considers the possibilities. Mr. Cole, shall you be getting your shield polished? Perhaps some new boots?
Oh, if I can replace his coat too. You saw the edges of this thing.
I do not think I can mend it any further than I have already. The last time it was rent asunder, it was quite a task.
Things evaporated.
I would have liked to poke around a little bit more, but back at the Burgomeister's house,
I wanted
just
to
see what
mingle.
he's about.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be the last time we're there. We're gonna have to report back anyway. You know.
That's a good point.
I never got that book.
Terrible butler.
Awful butler. Do you even
Perhaps
get his
he is the
name?
culprit all along, no? The butler? Is that not the...
It's always the butler. Unless it's the hag.
And Ash and Tensveta, out of the corner of your eye from behind you, in the direction of the manor, you start to see these little flashes of purple light somewhere high up above.
Like in the manor, like through the windows and stuff.
You've walked a bit of ways now, so it's tough to tell, but it definitely looks like it could be coming from there.
Looking back at it, Ash sees Tens seeing it as well. We're gonna need to look into that.
Maybe we should have seen if we could have relaxed there for the night. I would have really enjoyed sleeping on those couches. They're very comfortable.
Yeah, Like Cole said, gonna have to report back there at some point anyway.
Maybe after we finish with the carnival master tomorrow, perhaps I could go and do a little bit more research on the Burgermeister front at the Burger and his family. Sorry, got a bit of the hiccups from Terry's. Maybe I can do a little bit more research for my grand telling at the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Yeah, well, that's another way we could do it. Have him walk you around the house, show you the artifacts, give you the stories behind it.
Believe it or not, nobles love me whenever I'm in this state. I don't know what it is. I think it's the way I smell.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
The way you smell.
Mm-hmm. Do you not get that scent? It smells like I enjoy myself in this season because I smell like nutmeg and cinnamon.
All I can smell is shit right now.
And he starts like wafting the air in his direction very lazily.
You look like a moron. And
Well,
Dash
that's
is just going to keep walking.
That's just the average opinion of me, according to you three.
Somewhere up above, someone tosses out a mess pail filled with piss and just into the alley. It just splashes down as you're wafting.
Gross.
Make a
I
dexterity
told
check.
you.
I think I might be the only one who could make it.
And as you make your way back to the streets, they are quiet. Even the wolves howling in the distance seem to dim down as you walk. Your footsteps echoing, reverberating throughout the tunnel-like streets of Valaki. You approach the inn. The lights are on. There is a bit of chatter coming from inside, although it seems quiet tonight. Perhaps people resting up and getting ready for the festivities of the festival in just a couple days. Are you going straight up to your rooms, or are you going into the tap house?
Oh, Tins has got to eat some more.
Toby, are you gonna divvy up this gold?
Oh yeah, we got to do that, don't we?
So it's closer to midnight now as you all enter. Most of the inn is empty, except for two individuals drinking alone in the corner. The bar itself is empty. Danica is washing glasses, and there are three individuals sitting at a table by the door that all look at you as your group enters. The three of them stand up as soon as you come in, begin to walk past you on their way out, sort of somber glances. One of them bumps into you, Ash. Passes you a note. The lady wishes to speak with you.
Ash is just gonna nod, not wanting to like spook anybody in the moment. And then once they're away, he'll look at the note.
The letter itself is rather plain, although it is in a flowery, flowing hand like script. And it just very simply says, the lady Fiona Wachter requests your presence on the following evening for dinner.
Once we find a table and sit down. Well, you two, I don't think it's going to be as hard to get to this lady's Fiona's as you think. And I'm going to slide the note over.
Well, it couldn't have spread that quickly, could it?
You should not underestimate the great Durango Fortescue, my friend.
True.
Well, I've never underestimated you once, mate.
What about the Prince of Fakuri?
Yes, a wonderful tale you spun, my friend.
It was fantastic. But it's a matter of logistics, right? You know, nobles haven't even got home yet.
Nobles
Yeah.
talk a lot.
Here's the problem. Not underestimating either of your prowess, but I do think that the manner in which we were summoned and the way that we got this note, our names have spread, but not because of the performance.
You think it's the bones?
Might be the bones.
Or do you think it's the vampires? Ooh, do you think that she's the one that dropped them off?
I think it's a bunch of strangers in somebody else's town making too much noise.
But we tried to be quiet about the ones inside the Henrik house. Speaking of which, I want to talk to him. It's midnight. He's probably asleep.
Well, the other thing is if Strahd knows about us, and supposedly this lady is one of his allies, I don't know. Could be something there.
Danica comes over and we've got a bit more soup. Just a bit more soup left, Sveta, but I saved it for you. So how was your performance? Did it go well?
Why, thank you for asking. It made my performance in here the other night look very tame by comparison, I must say.
Well, I mean, you know, you got to weigh it differently. Nobles aren't exactly dancing on tables, you know.
Ooh, we should get them to next time.
I think we could.
I think I might be able to get one of the ladies up there.
I'd love to say it.
Well, I mean,
We shall make it so, my friend. We shall make it so.
well, that's just wonderful. Like I'm so happy to hear that it went well for you. You know, I know the Burgermeister's got a bit of a temper sometimes, so you know he's not the kind of man you want to cross or you end up in stocks. But
I think he was fine because I smelled pretty.
well, you do smell lovely. It's like cinnamon and nutmeg, but you can't tell.
Thank you. It's a habit.
And perhaps just a hint of piss.
Well, that's just rude. I think it's just the city growing on me. Literally, and
it'll
it kinda,
do that
picks
to
up
you.
his leg, sits it on the table. See, it's on my pants.
And now it's on the table.
Sorry. A little tired.
Well, we don't have much for baths, but you know, there's a well out front. You can always wash up there.
Supposed to ask if they had hot showers there.
If you don't mind, just I think ale, terries, wine, something.
Why are you always drinking around me so much? Oh, that's right. None of you like me.
Mate, I hardly drank a drop since I've been here. You ain't seen me drink.
If there is one thing that a circle can slay besides monsters, it is the drink.
In fact, I think tonight's a celebration, not you.
It certainly does smell like that to myself. I do not smell these spices or piss. I smell a job very well done.
Cole's
Hands over to
gonna
Ash and just. Sorry, go ahead.
Cole's gonna grab 3 gold out of his portion of the box and just give it to the barkeep. Just give us whatever you got.
He's gonna lean over to Ash and just say, "All he really smells is gold."
Unfortunately, we still haven't got that delivery.
Right.
I've got the cheap stuff.
We've got too much going on. We need to go find this Terry's apple wine. It's important.
There's too much going on in Valaki. Well, now I've heard it all.
Do you want to talk about it?
What about Lady Fiona? I heard Lady Fiona has a lot of good apple wine.
Here. Fiona walked her.
Yeah, that sounds right. Somebody mentioned she's got some deep cellars.
Is that an innuendo?
No, it's not.
She just very openly disagrees with the Baron, and I don't think he has the the backing or the backbone to act upon it. I mean, her sons are all right. They're here often. They're pretty good patrons. Sometimes they get drunk, they start fights, but they're trouble. But what young boys aren't when they drink.
You
Are
find
those
them
the
out
guy-
next time.
Yeah, were those the guys that just left as we were coming in?
Yeah. Two of their sons and just another member of her house.
Oh, well. Maybe we'll have to go see if she can spare some at Terry's first, eh?
But yeah, back to the cheap stuff was just fine, by the way. Just wanted to let you know.
All right, well, it's all we got. So,
My friends, you must forgive me if I was a little excited on the walk back. Of course, fair is fair, and he's divided the gold into 4 equal piles and pushes them towards everybody on the table. The
Impressive.
first of many, no?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Tell me, Mr. Ash, can you do an impression of a man who is excited to receive this much money?
He pulls off a voice of Tensveta being very excited about his story.
Oh, fuck
yes.
you.
I'm very happy about getting all this gold.
Okay, now that's just mean.
all that is just uncanny.
It's weird.
Quite a talent.
Yeah.
I call it fuckery.
Yeah, but you kind of call everything fuckery.
Yeah. It's true.
He really does, doesn't he?
Turns out.
So tell me, Mr. Ash, I will buy the first round, but you simply must tell me where you learned this this vocal trick of yours.
It's just kind of something I was born with. As long as I could talk, I've been able to pick up people's voices.
This is very interesting. I have never heard of such a thing before, but this is quite a gift.
Yeah. I've only read about it a few times.
And you have
Insight
never
check.
All right. So your insight versus you got to make a deception check, Ash.
22.
Ah.
Got that +7.
Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Everybody, even yourself and Durango, all have, some secrets. But for the most part, it seems like, You're just not. You're really just. Although it's interesting, you're just not that interested. You're still counting gold pieces.
Durango, on the other hand, is pretty interested, and he's going to call on his innate ability to detect thoughts, and pay attention to what Ash is thinking during this exchange.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So good.
Okay. Yeah. What's your spell save DC?
So that is a 15 with charisma. I was reading of how detect thoughts worked earlier. I think it only has a DC if you're like trying to dig deeper
Yeah,
than just their surface
You
thoughts. right?
automatically get the surface thoughts, and then it's a DC save if you try to pry deeper.
Well, do me a favor. Let's go ahead and hit me with the wisdom save, anyways.
His parents were murdered at a young age. He spent his
In
whole
an
life.
alleyway.
Raised by Kenku.
It's raised by Kenku.
I'm Birdman.
13.
I'm Kenku man.
Okay. So what are the surface level thoughts?
Ash's current surface level thoughts are should probably knock it out with the voices. This is more than I usually do the voices. Why am I playing along? And it's also kind of tied in with like really want to investigate that attic. We need to stay focused. There's too much showmanship in playing to the crowd. I got the shit I need to get done.
Yeah. So you get this very like rundown, like sort of frustration and busyness. This is very much not Ash's bag. I mean, he's more the silent watcher, the hunter in the trees. In the up in the treetops, looking down, not front and center where everyone can see him.
Yeah, okay, I gotta dig deeper. I gotta push it.
All right. Well, give me another wisdom save.
Oh.
All right. Give him the deeper thoughts.
The deeper thoughts, Ash is really, really worried that he's revealing too much about himself. The thought keeps coming back to it. I can't have to hide it. Can't show him it. You're showing him too much of it. And you're also getting shots of a woman and a child and a fire in reference to it. Like they're constantly popping in. Angry mob is also ever present, but it all revolves around I got to keep it hidden.
You can message him in Discord too if you want.
Yeah, and I will message you more about it in Discord.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Durango continues playing with his gold and just kind of laughing and making merry with everybody. He's like on 10 times more than he was when they went there to play. Like he's visibly excited about how things have gone. Very upbeat.
Cole's gonna mirror that. It hasn't been this good for the two of them in quite some time. It's been probably a run of a few months since we've actually had access to real gold.
And so easy at that.
Yeah, we should have come here. We were the Vistani all of our lives. We could have been here ages ago. Fantastic.
Yeah, the timing of encountering these people was quite remarkable, no?
Oh yeah, And Cole's probably like a couple drinks in at this point. Since you drive me up a wall, Ash, can't put my finger on it. I think you're bullshit. Rango, you know how I feel about you.
And now you, my friend.
But I like this. Well,
That's nice.
Well, it's just been me and Rango for a while, but like this, boys, we can make some gold. We tighten up the act a bit. We could be rolling in it. We could have this town eating out of our hands.
I don't care about the gold.
Which
But-
color of you does?
That's racist, first off. It's colorist? I don't know.
Mr.
Shade
Ben.
seasonist.
Seasonist? Seasonist most like it. How dare you?
The meat of what we do is the trading of tales. Surely this must appeal to you.
I like stories more than I like anything else.
Well, what are we but tellers and creators of stories?
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm
And
here
you,
for.
Mr. Ash, what other gifts do you possess hidden beneath that scowl?
I can shoot these magic arrows. I can make them do sometimes. Some stuff. It's kind of a
Assuming
trick I
you
picked
hit
up.
things, you have a hard time hitting things from time to time, I've noticed.
Well, and it seems like every fight that we've been in has been in like a tight room where like a bow and arrow doesn't really work.
I use a hand crossbow quite often.
Right. And I have a big ass longbow. So
Yeah, you don't need to, you don't really need to cock alone, but you need, like, expanse. This thing's rather big.
Do you really need 10 feet to yourself every time you draw your longbow? Is your wingspan... Hold up, stand up and put your hands out. I'm going to measure your wingspan. Is it 10
If it's
feet?
an English longbow, he needs a shit ton of room and ceiling clearance.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, Ash stands up, puts his arm out, and the longbow is
10
probably
feet.
3/4 the size.
But is your wingspan 10 feet? Because you can only draw so far. You can only go probably, I imagine, how tall are you? Like 6 foot-ish? Well, right now, I mean.
I'm a short guy. Thanks for pointing it out.
I can't say anything. I'm fucking 5'8". What do you want? Anyway, I want another drink and some food. That's beside the point. You don't need 10 feet to draw your bow. Is my point.
No, but it doesn't make sense when you're in a tight room to draw out the bow when you can't get a line of sight on anybody.
I suppose I didn't have any issue in the attic.
Yeah, your weapon's about this big, mate. You get a bird put up against his chest, bang. Oh,
It's not like
fwick.
that. Fwick. Not bang.
Yeah.
This isn't a sword.
That's fine. I can use a sword. I'm decent with it. I know how it works.
But if you do magic shit, if you do fuckery with your arrows, you should do fuckery with your arrows and then use your sword.
Like I said, every time I try,
Well, do you have to fire it, or can you just pull the arrow out and just like stab someone with it, and then the magic shit happens?
you know.
Like, is it the arrow, or is it the bow, or is it the firing of the arrow from the bow that you focus your fuckery through?
No, it's like I can only do it like when I'm focusing on the shots. Like you draw the bow back, take that breath, and in that moment, like I can feel it.
You can feel it. You feel things. That's the first time I've heard him say anything about feeling anything.
Oh no, he had it in him.
I didn't either.
Well, as you've seen, I'm a man of many talents.
Durango, when am I going to see you blow someone's head off? I've been waiting for it.
I believe it was a goblin we spoke of, yes? For the head exploding? We have
Goblins
seen.
are thick-skulled creatures.
And that's why it worked. You see, the resonance from the loot only resonates on particular thickness of goblin skulls. It's actually quite a lucky instance. It don't
Yes.
happen all the time.
You should probably be careful then, huh?
I ain't seen no normal person explode, you know?
Normal. Yes, that's what I meant.
Well, gentlemen, this has been a very, very productive evening, but I fear it is time for me to take my leave. And Durango collects his gold, stands abruptly, holds his hand up high, and all the lights in the room flare up. And he bows, and they all go down dim, and like all the light in the room drops, and Durango just disappears.
He leans over to Cole. I get the feeling he really doesn't like me. Just in general.
I think he likes everybody a little bit, but I don't know. You know, it's funny. We've always had more of a working relationship. I personally don't know much about the lad.
And you're not curious?
You said I'm not curious, mate.
Well, I want to know more about all of you. If I'm going to be with you, if you're so keen on having us all together, I need to know everything about all three of you. Sorry. And I know plenty about you, Ash. We're good. But you, Mr. Mavvin, the brave Sir Cole Mavvin.
Adjusts his collar when as soon as it just out of habit.
Not tonight. I'm sleepy. This season, me here like this, very tired after eating as much as I have tonight.
You look a bit sleepy all the time, like that, actually.
Well, it depends on the season. Spring's very excited and not very sleepy at all. And summer's just here to have a good time.
Yeah, so quick, you know, I never met an elf like you before. It's quick.
Oh, thank you.
If you want as a compliment, sure. How does that all work? Because I'm confused 90% of the time.
Well, that's what I assume to be true of you anyway.
It depends what we're talking about, I guess. But so you just wake up and like, oh, I decide to be. I'm a bit chilly today. I'm gonna be depressed, or oh, the sun's beautiful. Oh, great! What a beautiful summer day. Oh, look at me, my skin's on fire. Like, how's that work?
It's a little more complicated than that. Really, it's. Hold on, give me just a minute. And he gets up from the table and he kind of shakes off that orange, and it starts to get a little bit more red as he gets into a little bit more aggressive stance in his summer form. He just kind of sits and leans forward and says, "It's actually very complicated. See, like now." And you can see him kind of like starting to unbutton the top of his shirt, that little pendant starting to show. Really hot, literally, very hot. It's because I feel the passion in the moment. You have a passion behind you whenever you're feeling curious, just like me, just like him, just like the other one. Though he's more passionate about music. Whatever the fuck that. Like I don't understand that entirely, but whatever. There's a certain tenuous relationship between emotions and what you see before you. Where I'm from, emotions are really important and really easily manipulated. You have to be able to think clearly through all of them. It's very difficult, especially whenever your emotions are driving you.
With that, Danica comes over and she just like drops a rag on the table. All right, well, gentlemen, I've got a passion for a good night's rest. So why don't you clean up and we'll settle up in the morning. But I don't want to stop you here. He's on a bit of a thing. So
he
have a great night.
Back and just kind of like watches her leave.
I think I like the summer too.
Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, as I was saying, where I come from, emotions are very easily manipulated. People like you wouldn't be able to make it there half a day before you started chasing some nymph through the forest.
That sounds like good fun.
It's not. They usually take you to your doom.
Sounds like good fun.
Telling you, they eat you alive quite literally. You ever met a quickling? Fucking awful little shits. Grr.
As he's sort of getting up from his chair and, you know, trying to, like, you know, looking over and looking at the rag on the table. Just kind of, walk and talk. Listen, mate. You want to know about me? It's what you need to know.
And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh, shit.
So thank you, everyone. Sorry, I've got some new puppy stuff going on, and that seemed like such a great place to stop. So I know we just got some raiders. Thank you so much for the raiders out there, guys. If you look in our channel points, we do 2 different giveaways on our channel. Every month we do a custom dice giveaway through Dragon Knight Dice based on characters from our Tuesday night games. And tonight we're giving away every stream we give away a game, a free stream key, a Steam key for watching the stream. And it's the bribe, and that's the cost of a follow. So any of you guys new here, just follow us tonight. Just win a free game. I'll give you just a couple minutes while Ben explains what game we're giving away tonight, while Ryan starts to tally those up.
Tonight we're giving away a copy of Sid Meier's Pirates. If you're familiar with Sid Meier, you know the guy makes some pretty epic games. I've played this one myself, logged a lot of hours in it. There's naval combat, there's turn-based strategy, there's dueling. Am I missing anything? You guys...
I know Pirates is arguably like the best of the series too. Like this is a lot of people's favorites. So really, one follow, 300 elf eggs, win yourself a game. We've only got about like 4 entries, so your chances are really good right now. But yeah, man, that's such a good game.
And that's it. So we're gonna thank you for those of you who stuck around. We're gonna go raid somebody else here in a minute while Ryan starts to figure out the giveaway. Why don't we go ahead and have Durango for that fantastic performance? Why don't you go ahead and roll us a d20 to figure out where we're gonna head?
We're raiding number 2 tonight.
Number 2.
And friend of the stream, and now 2 weeks in a row winner, Shulael, my friend. You've just won yourself a Steam game.
Dang.
Absolutely fantastic. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Sorry we're ending a little bit early. Obviously we got a bunch of holiday stuff coming up, so we will not be doing this next Sunday, I don't believe, right? Because that is Christmas Day, right? Well, no, 25th is Christmas Day.
Day
Day
after
after Christmas.
Anyways, we won't be doing this next Sunday. But we will be playing on Tuesday. We have Monday, tomorrow, we're playing our Sinner's Dream game where Chuck DMs, our Tanzveta DMs. That's a really fun war-themed D&D game. If you're not watching that, definitely go check it out. I'm a player in that one, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that setting. And then Tuesday, we play a very sort of vanilla, it's a homebrew world, but a very vanilla style D&D, which is the 5 best friends, where Ben and Ryan play in. So hopefully we'll see you at one of those streams. I hope everybody has a great holiday if we don't see you then. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. We're raiding Total Party Chill, by the way, so stick around, join that raid.
Yeah, let's go be noisy, make some new friends, and yeah, you get the drill.
Bye.